video. Today's video is actually going to be a lot cooler than my average videos. So we're going to go ahead and take diorama making up a scale. Okay, so mountain diorama, cool. Making rocks, fire. But I've been watching too many videos on YouTube and I got to give it a try. But about a year ago, I used to do epoxy resin keycaps and epoxy resin Pokemon like Game Boy Advance Poke cards that I would make. It was pretty cool. I still have all the stuff for it, and I still have the knowledge of epoxy resin. We're gonna be talking about that today. I've got all the materials before me right here. This is actually going to be a goodbye gift to one of our newest friends that we've made here in this town and one of our newest followers. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead and show everything that you may need. Of course, we'll put price points and links and stuff to where they are so that way you guys can get all of this stuff. I ain't even gonna lie, I think pretty much everything here, minus the foam, was straight up Hobby Lobby. So 2 of these items are gonna be from Amazon and the rest of them are all pretty much Hobby Lobby, it's safe to say. So let's go ahead and show you what we got. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the stuff that you can't get at Hobby Lobby, which is gonna be pretty much what you see here. This is a silicone mold in which you can use to fill up with epoxy and be able to remove safely and securely so that way it doesn't F up and, you know, just leave any of that dirty tape that people have to end up painting over. It'd be nice to actually see, you know, the full epoxy diorama. Now, as you can see, my foam is already cut. I was kind of already getting excited about this video, but I said, nah, let me go ahead and capture this step by step of what I did. So this is that $10 foam that I told you guys about. I ordered, I think, 6 boards of this for $10 or $15. And yeah, it's pretty much gonna be the basis. Now let's go ahead and see what else we need. As far as the Hobby Lobby stuff, I have some Liquitex paint that I went ahead and copped at Hobby Lobby. It is $5.99, as you can tell for the sticker that I left on. I went ahead and pulled out the burnt sienna. I'm not really too sure I'm gonna use it. I think I'm probably just gonna go with Mars Black and the neutral gray, just to add for that white kind of touch to the rocks and everything. Now again, this is all Hobby Lobby. This as well is Hobby Lobby. You can score this for $18.99 at Hobby Lobby. It is in the craft section over there by where, like, God, my bad. I can't exactly remember it off the top of my head because I was in multiple sections that day. But if you ask where the epoxy resin is, you should be able to find it. Now, this stuff is pretty simple. It's super easy. You can't mess it up. So pretty much there's an A and a B part to the liquid. You want to go ahead and put the pretty much the same amount. So if, like, I had, what is this? So if I had this full with epoxy resin, I would need to do 1 full B, 1 full A, and then mix that very thoroughly. And essentially, we'll show you guys how it casts. But like I said, for my epoxy resin days, this is something that you're gonna need to let kind of harden and dry. And without a UV light, it may be a little bit harder. But I have some kind of tool that actually dries this stuff and kind of molds it a lot quicker. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and show you everything. So let me show you the step-by-step part. This is new for me and definitely new for all of y'all. Smaller and more notable tools are gonna be needed. I have these box cutting knives that I pretty much ordered off of Amazon. A simple Sharpie pen so that way I can make my my increments where I need to cut. And then of course, good old ruler. Who all had one of these in middle school, high school, or elementary? You're lying if you didn't. Also, one of the simplest things you're gonna need, of course, is gonna be a gunpla. What I've got planned here is, I think this is gonna be my rock piece. We're gonna go ahead and use this too. So let's see, let's get our mark. There you go. Give it the old Darth Maul treatment here. The diorama has spoken. We found our mountain base. What I'm gonna go ahead and do from here, because like I said, we're trying to minimize how much epoxy resin we use, and I think we'll definitely be able to fill this. So I'll kind of cut this and trim this to be like a slow edge, and we'll definitely show you guys and show you how that's gonna look. But this is gonna be our rock mountain. So essentially, this is the lineup that we're gonna have. It's gonna be our diorama, essentially. That is what we're looking at, okay? Pretty much I'm thinking this might be one of the poses we could leave it in, or I could do this other kind of version to where it's on there and then we can even kind of stab the bazooka into the ground so it looks like it's coming outward, or we can rest it against the back wall mountain. And essentially what we can do, there we have it, y'all. We have our sculpture. Put it backwards, upside down. Yep, there we go. So that's gonna be the basis. I'll definitely be able to kind of get the bazooka to sit upwards after some glue, or after I just kind of stab it in place. But yeah, that is what we're looking at. What do y'all think? So this is the diorama so far. This is what we have. I'm gonna go ahead and work on that because I'm not really a fan of how much that's there. But what I went ahead and did this time was I actually carved on the front and the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this the back. We're gonna go ahead and paint over that. I'll probably go ahead and edge this up as well. Don't want that to be too flat, but for the most part, this is actually pretty dope for it being a little mini rock. And then we have our bottom base here, which all I've done, and what I tried to do, was give it a slant cut. Now I'm gonna keep trying, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys a bit of an update because after this is gonna come the painting. So we're gonna go ahead and paint afterwards, and then let it dry for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then we'll go over it with some dry brushes from the gray paint, and we'll have our mountain. And then from literally there, I've been talking with the person I'm making this for in Discord, and it seems I'm gonna go with a ruins kind of approach. So what we're gonna do is glue this, paint this, get this set, get this made as a normal diorama, because you gotta know how to make a rock wall mountain diorama with a base before you can go adding everything else. So I'm gonna get this set, glued, paint, and all that. And then, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start adding some shrubs onto it, and then probably some foliage for this one because it's gonna be an older timed diorama. So it's gonna be a Gundam that's been sitting in time. Just finished painting. If you've watched the other videos, you know that this is one of the crucial steps afterwards. So I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add the gray brush marks, and then we're gonna glue it. Then we'll worry about the shrubs and all that stuff. All right, you guys, so I have my rock formation. I just gotta let it dry, let it glue, and then, let the glue dry itself, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start putting some brush and everything over this. But I don't want to put it into the silicone mode yet because I truly want this to dry. You have to finish the diorama first before you do anything else, so that way, you know, diorama's good because you're sealing the diorama with the epoxy resin. So, like I said, you're placing a Gundam in a moment of time. I'm very happy because this is just a trial and error, you know what I mean? Very happy with what I got so far. Mini diorama, look. Looks pretty badass already, truth be told. So, I'll go ahead and flip that up so we can see it. But, I mean, look at that, dude. That looks dope. Guys, so from here, I'm just using my Hobby Lobby shrubs and foliage here. And I'm just carefully taking some 100% Mod Podge that I have. And I have a tutorial on this too. It's part of the how to maintain calmness when doing a diorama. But it's super, super easy. All you gotta do is just kind of put a little bit of that Mod Podge somewhere. Get your shrub. Just kind of place it in there, give it a nice little press, because I mean the shrubs is like a foam kind of material, so it's gonna kind of like get bigger. I don't know what the actual term is. I can't think right now. It's like 4 o'clock, 4:36 a.m. in the morning, and I am once again burning the midnight oil. It seems all my projects work best whenever I am working this late. All right, so I actually got super lucky, and I still have to glue it in place. Thank God I can move the Gundam out. But I forgot I had this pre-made rock. So what I think I'm gonna go ahead and do, and it's awesome that I have this. I'm so glad. There you go, the cave. Look at this, a little bit of glue remains, but I'm thinking I'm gonna put it like right here, like at the edge of this. And then we're gonna go ahead and epoxy resin the bottom. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking the final design may be, you know what I mean? Given a really good idea to get some of the foliage and break it down. Dip a bread zip tie in glue, wrap it around this, and you'll get an almost like vine or branch type of appearance. So that's pretty dope. I could definitely cover it up a little bit more on the bottom there, but for the most part, I'm pretty glad that it's keeping its shape. I'm gonna let it dry some more and make some more of these. I got 2 more. Alright guys, so this is the final result of what it's going to look like before I actually go ahead and seal it with epoxy resin. I do have the vines drying, so there's no way that that's going to be on there, but I'll show you after because it doesn't matter if they go on before. But I went ahead and glued that rock there at the bottom and added some shrubs to the weapons, and I gotta say, I love this. I love this, and I can't wait to go hard on my own for my own kit. Alright guys, so with the Hobby Lobby epoxy mix, all you gotta do is get the right amount of A and B and then just swig them on over together. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get this all out. Use this spoon that I've painted for test practices, because hopefully everything can make it. So essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna stir this for a good minute, and epoxy resin usually needs to be stirred for about a good minute or two. And you are gonna have a bunch of air bubbles. You're gonna wanna just do your best to kind of get rid of those air bubbles. Now, the best way other people get rid of air bubbles and stuff that I've seen is with a heat gun, but I don't have the appropriate stuff. Now, I'm noticing that this epoxy isn't kind of coming out clear. That's probably my fault for the spoon that I'm using, but that's perfectly fine. Essentially what I'm fixing to actually do is dip a little bit of this paint in there to give it a kind of deeper ocean water. So let's actually go ahead and do that. We're just gonna go ahead and drip some of this in here. Nice, perfect, just what I was hoping for. I'm gonna do another layer and it's gonna be a lot lighter, and then we're gonna do a third layer, and that one's just gonna be clear straight epoxy. I'm gonna use a cleaner spoon so that way we don't have that issue. So I've gone ahead and done my first pour. I do apologize, I did not record it, but we'll go ahead and get the second one. But what I pretty much did was start at the empty space over here, and then I went over to the edge, and then I did the same for right here in the corner. So I got the majority of the epoxy resin everywhere that I need. As you can see, it is hitting the crevices and everything. So this is the epoxy UV dryer that I have. It's casted right now over the diorama. So I have it set on 30 minutes. I'm gonna let it do its thing for about 30 minutes or so, and then yeah, I'll go ahead and probably check the sturdiness of the epoxy and then set it for another, and then just let it dry over the day, add another layer, and repeat the process. Alright guys, welcome back. So it's the next day for me. I've actually gone ahead and taken a little bit of my Citadel Nuln Oil here, and what I've gone ahead and done is just kind of left some strands, as you can tell, and you're just going to place it over the diorama, let it flow naturally, because it'll kind of dry up and give a different appearance, kind of a different texture to the rock. So that's pretty cool. I've already gotten the back, I'm just getting the sides a little bit more. The best part about today is the epoxy dried pretty fast to the point that it's actually got a solid base to it and I can feel it. So all I'm going to go ahead and do is just kind of add some more epoxy into it, so that way we can kind of rise up those water levels, and yeah, we'll go from there. So this time I made the water a lot lighter. It's not as dark as the first batch. I consider this a lot lighter because the first batch was definitely kind of like a weird moss green. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and just pour everything. Easy stuff from here. Gonna put a little bit in the middle, and hopefully it drains out. Yeah, there you go. Definitely gotta get the back too. Don't forget about the back. And then from there, yeah, we'll go ahead and go to the next part. Now keep in mind guys, if you did not have a like a UV resin dryer or whatever, UV resin light, this may take about 2 to 3 days to initially get hard. So giggity. So it's gonna be probably about a week-long project for you, so don't worry, don't stress it. Don't overdo it. Just make sure you go at a slow pace, because this is art. You definitely don't want to rush anything when it comes to it. I mean, it's a new feature and a new adventure that you yourself as a builder are taking. So the fact that you're even here trying to attempt this, just go slow. Don't rush it. Here we are. I've got the last epoxy mix ready. This one's definitely a lighter blue. It's a lot clearer than the others, so pretty much I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it a little bit more, just kind of make sure it's all good, make sure the mixture is okay, and what you Americans call bueno. I need that to spread, okay. Also, I'm gonna do a little bit of a waterfall on the bazooka here, so let's hope it actually drops like that. But yeah, so far the last mix is it's hardening a lot quicker than I thought, giggity. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is leave it on the UV light literally all night, and it sucks because my UV light only works in 30-minute increments, so I guess that means we're burning the midnight oil, huh? this is the diorama. I think we did really well with the dark water. Shout outs to Xander from the Discord for giving the idea. Also really loving how, and you know what's funny guys, I'm actually saying this, both of the dorks are sitting right behind me in the video. So sorry about that, dorks. Yeah, they gave me the idea to do the branches and to just kind of get everything going. So you guys let me know so far what you think. Do you think you would weather the Gundam a little bit more? Do you think I did enough? You know, what would you do? Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching still. This is the end of the epoxy journey and the end of these gloves, throwing them out. So now, what we're gonna do, and let me show you guys what I've been using. This is the epoxy resin light that I've been using. I got it off of Amazon. It's like 10-15 bucks. Comes with 4 lights, but only 2 of mine work. And it does come with 1 replaceable bulb. So you have the ability to set it for a, 2-minute, 3-minute mark, or 30-minute mark. So what I've been doing is setting the diorama here. Let's get the gun a little bit tilted. And then I've been setting it to the edges of the silicone, and then I just turn it on and we let it dry. So we'll check back in with this and the final results. So when I had the applicable space, it was actually a lot easier to get this out, but holy shit, guys. This came out amazing. Look at this, oh my god. I'm immediately going to go to Hobby Lobby and buy some more epoxy, because this epoxy is so amazing. So I'm trying to get that hanging, but dude, look at this, look at this. Alright guys, for this next part, what you're going to want to do is get a little bit of Mod Podge gloss, right? And what you essentially are just kind of trying to do here is, as you can see from my already made ripples here, this is going to dry up and give it like an almost wavy, glossy like appearance. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to smear it in. Truth be told, you're going to need to like get a straw, or if you have your airbrush, you can just put some air and then kind of go from there. Personally, I'm going to make sure I get a bunch of waves over here, because that's just what I'm trying to get. Personally, I'm just going to use a straw that I have, because I keep a couple of straws and everything. Just, you never really know when you're going to need something for a project. So I'm just trying to make sure I get kind of everywhere. I am not ambidextrous, but I'm just using my left hand because I'm on the left side. And actually, it's not that bad. Pretty calm, truth be told. Look, I'm going to dip it in the Mod, kind of dry it off a bit, and go back at it. There you go. Give a little bit of a lighter approach. Cool. Now I'm gonna get in the middle. And now, the moment you guys have all been waiting for. I present to you Ruins RX-78 Lost to Time.